lie down. Okay, I may have lost my connection there for a minute. It's very hard to move a dog and to keep it stay. Said lie down. Move a dog and keep your finger on the camera. It's quite secure at the same time while you're bending over talking. Upside down. Okay, baby? Yeah, out. So, you see, this last night, both of these jugs were full of water. By this morning, both are empty. So that's about 4 liters of water overnight that she's drinking. That's why she has access to the outside at all times, so that she can go out and pee and do her thing. Now, Skeet! Get over here! Get in here! What did I tell you about that? Kennel. That's a no. Thank you. Lie down. Lie down. Lie down. Thank you. She's having a bit of hip issue with her hip. She slipped on the ice. We've had black ice outside the kennel. Move, B, I'm stepping on you. Outside the kennel door where they walk out here. See the B? Can you go out? No, other way. Out. B, out. See where they go out there. And then on the outside there's a rubber mat. And Nell went out the other day and slipped on her way out. So this is going to end very soon because I'm going to be out of battery on my camera. But anyway, so there we are for this morning. We'll come back in a little later because it's a nice day. So we'll take our walk and do our yard cleanup. And then we'll come back. Where's the other rug? I'm missing a rug. I'm losing it. No, you're missing a rug in here. I did drag the rug too. Anyway. Stuff on your face. Hey? Stuff on your face. Anyway, we're going to head out. Skeet's starting his breakfast. We're going to head out and do our morning ambulations. We got to go for a walk. Do our stretching, right? Play a little ball because it's warm enough today. And sort out the yard. We have to make sure that everything's clean every day. We do 3 or 4 rounds of the yard to make sure that there's no refuse left about. And that is one of the issues with multiple dogs. We do end up, and especially because we have puppies and they've spotted all over. As puppies, they just kind of go willy-nilly when they're little. And the sheer number of dogs we've had here, different dogs coming to visit. We sometimes bring in a male for BJ. And we did have one of Nell and Skeet's pups come and visit us this summer here for a week while her people were away. Anyway, so we do end up with a little bit of refuse around the yard, which we shouldn't normally, but unfortunately our dogs are trained to go in the bushes, and we don't have any bushes, which is comical because where my neighbor wasn't mowing their lawns, that's where the dogs wanted to go because they thought it was the bush. Had to tell them, you need to clean up your weeds because my dogs want to go there all the time. But we do also make sure that if the dogs have left our property at all, stepped onto the neighbor's property, that you clean. And I do check the perimeter at all times to make sure that there is no issue. And that way you don't have problems with your neighbors. Yes, when we moved in, my neighbor said I was the most courteous neighbor he had ever met as a pet owner because I introduced myself. Nell promptly pooped on his lawn, and I ran back home, all 2 yards, grabbed my dustpan and hoe, and cleaned up behind my dog. And that is the way that we have always been. I actually have to clean up behind several neighbors' dogs in neighbors' yards who don't have dogs, just to make sure that there's never any thought that it's our dogs, right? Because we don't poop in Carrie's yard, do we? No. We're very good about that. But other dogs come in, and at night we have one that comes through the neighborhood. It's quite disturbing, but nothing much we can do about it. Anyway, my camera's out of battery, so we're going to say goodbye for this morning. We're almost at 5 minutes, so that should keep you happy today. There's your pups having a good morning There's this cute little tail just to go in here. It's okay now. You see this little tail here? I think that's Maggie because there's a little bit of brown underneath the tail. Good girl. Just keep your head up so my camera can be down here. Okay, the little tail was straight up. I have one video. Yeah, that is Maggie. I have one video where the pup was against the wall. I put an arrow on the picture. I'll send it off to you this week. Put an arrow on the picture. The little pup's tail was standing straight up the wall. It was quite funny. Hey, Nellie, now? Are we just about finished? Alright, should I open the door for you? Alright. Shall we go now? Hey, you ready to go? Now? Alrighty then. So we're going to head outside and we're going to do our stuff. We've got to fix our water and things like that. And that's just one of the things that you follow through every morning. Dogs should need to have clean water. They need to have not ice on top of their water. And there's the kitten. See, she's going for water. She always drinks in that kennel. That's Lucifer. And her name suits her. This is her area where she plays, where all of her toys are. And I always make sure that there's a selection of places for animals to sleep. The dogs here, Skeet has 2 options. And I made sure Nell has 2 or 3 options. I put the little bed in front of the door last night because I figured that puppies were going to be floating out the door after her if it was a little bit warm. They can now climb back in if I put that bed in front. It's a little bit of a high leap yet today, and 2 days they'll be climbing in and out ad nauseum. They'll be going great guns. Skeet! What you doing, hon? You stay here. You want your breakfast? Hey? We got toasted cheese whiz this morning, eh? Toasted cheese whiz. Okay, well there's our battery, and we're at 7 minutes, so we'll say goodbye today. And we will talk to you in a bit. We'll bring out the scale and check their weights in just a